And I'm going to go back to my mat now. I'll see you there. We'll start seated. And so I'm on the tops of my feet, and the knees are comfortably wide apart. And you can really feel into the distance that you want here between the knees. And then the hands are in this Bahavajra mudra. The index finger and thumb touch, and then the hands rest very gently on the legs, and then we close the eyes. Once you have settled down and you found your seat, you can just move around. I like to cross one foot or one toe over the other one. See if this posture is sustainable for a few minutes. And if you really know that this is not going to work for you, you're welcome to take a block and just bring it between your feet and let your sit bones settle on your block. So find something that will take your mind off your body, a seat that will take your mind off your body. Okay, so feeling that when you're on your shins, how you can allow the spine to be quite erect without too much effort. It's one of the easiest postures to sit upright in. And we've been working on the theme of balance this week. So in this seat, start to check that you are indeed balanced in how it feels. And starting with the sit bones and how they feel on your feet, equally distributing the weight of your body. And then how do your shoulders feel? Are you completely relaxed deeply in each shoulder, with the upper arms relaxing, with the forearms relaxing? And then the fingers soft on the legs. Then bring your awareness to your head, and you want to imagine that it is right between your shoulders, not inclining or leaning to one side. And then bring your awareness to your two nostrils, breathing through your nose. Just notice if there's a dominance that you can feel here. One may be more open than the other. Some people are super sensitive to this and it's very obvious. Others may not feel it at all. And this dominant nostril changes according to Ayurvedic medicine throughout our day and night, from side to side. So noticing the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. Maybe not quite so balanced. And then bring your awareness down to your belly and see if your soft swelling of the belly on the inhale goes out as much as it draws back towards the spine gently on the exhale. So looking to find a soft, easy movement in the stomach. And now you can start to lengthen your breath if you haven't already done so. Drawing the breath in, allowing full breath, pushed all the breath out. And here as well, looking for balance, the inhalation for today's practice is the same length as the exhalation. So if you'd like to start counting, maybe breathing in for a count of 3 or 4, whatever count you're on, make sure it's the same on the out breath. Always checking to pause in between these deep, full breaths. To check that you're not overloading your system, not breathing too hard, never breathing too hard in the yoga practice. Working on balance is something that we do our whole life. Balancing, harmonizing, and integrating the body and the mind and the spirit. So start to draw yourself or withdraw from the external world and really take your attention inside, checking into your inner landscape. Setting the intention to stay present throughout the practice. Finish the breath you're on. Open your eyes and come forwards onto your hands and knees, strong arms. You can let your knees move to hip distance apart, and then just tuck your toes under, curling the toes under. And then from there, we're going to find ourselves in a standing forward bend. So lift your hips, lift your knees, walk your hands back, hang out here with your feet hip distance apart. Bend your knees, drop your head, and let your arms be heavy. Keep the breath flowing through the nose. Let the head just drop down. Just feeling already what's this week so far, just 2 days for most of us into the week, how the body feels at this stage. And then stay down. You might want to bend your knees a little more and interlace your fingers behind your head. Let your thumb settle on the occipital ridge, that little arc there where the skull starts. Let your elbows hang, and very gently, the heavier the arms get, the more the head will be drawn down and the chin will be tucked in. And then slowly roll your chin from shoulder to shoulder. Move super slow so that you can feel every side of the body that is the stretch changes as you move from side to side. You might even feel the stretch starting from underneath the one foot as you take the chin that side and running all the way up the back of the leg and over the buttock and down into that same side of the back. And you just keep rolling from side to side. It's a very gentle pressure of the hands on the head. Keep that chin nice and close in to the collarbone without any force. All right, come to stillness. Let your hands find the floor, and we're going to roll up. Once you're looking straight ahead, take your arms out to the side, have a big stretch, reach up to the ceiling, and then fold down again. You're welcome to keep the knees bent or straight, hanging down. This time, hold your elbows. And then we're going to work with the eyeballs in the eye sockets. So start to roll your eyes over to the right, down in the eye socket to the left and up. And then just do that once more to the other side. I know there's a lot of pressure in your head. Good. Let go of that. Release your hands to the floor and again roll up to standing. And when you're looking straight ahead, again, a nice big full lift of the arms, stretch it out. Keep your arms up, interlace your fingers above your head. Stretch, stretch, stretch. You can bend your knees a little bit. Take a side bend to your right. Let your hips go left. So feel this out. Move slowly. Keep breathing. Come back up to center, stretch, go to your left, soften the knees again, let your hips go right. Breathe space into the side body and release, and take your hands all the way down. Interlace the fingers the non-habitual way and take them behind your head. And we're going to keep the legs super straight now for our back bends. So imagine that this is like your first cobra or your first up dog. So straighten your legs, really firm up your thighs, lift your kneecaps, and then let your hips come forwards as you bring your head back into your hands. Try and just make sure you can see your elbows. And the more you go up and over, the more you firm your legs, the more you bring your hips forward. You keep breathing, go in small movements. Strong legs are required in back bends. Maybe if there's any pain, don't do it. Let's come up and release the arms out and down. Interlace the fingers again, take them up. We'll repeat the side bends because they're so delicious. To your right, hips can go left. Maybe you can go a little deeper. Maybe you pull those left fingers with your right hand. Come back up. To your left, hips go right. And here the left hand might do a little bit of stretching. Okay, and come up. Release out and down. Interlace your fingers the non-habitual way. Now we're going to round the back. So draw your pubic bone forwards and up. Straighten your arms, push your hands forward. Scoop your pubic bone up. So tailbone moves down. Yeah, separate the space between the shoulder blades. Actively pull your belly back and draw your shoulders down. Make sure your knees point straight ahead. So we're going to add a little side stretch in this variation. Start to bring your arms and your whole body to the right. So you'll start to open now in your left shoulder, the left upper back, middle back, side back. You'll feel a lot happening in those ribs. Keep the arms strong, pushing forwards to the corner. And keep breathing space into that left kidney area. Swing back to center, go off to the other side. Move slowly. Same thing here. Be fully aware of what's going on in the right side of the body, the right kidney, the right waist, back right ribs and side ribs. And then the shoulder, having a good stretch, shoulder blades. Swing back to center and stand all the way up. Release your arms out and down and take a forward fold all the way down to the floor. Take one breath here. And then step back, step forward for downward facing dog. So we don't have to stretch the legs just yet. You might keep your heels up a bit, but get a nice stretch in the shoulders, really warm them up a bit. Remember, we want to try and ground all four corners of the palms of the hands and press your fingerprints down into the floor. You might feel the knuckles come up. That's okay. Just keep that down action. So now bring your feet a little closer together. Bend your knees a lot and spin the knees to the right. Ground your right heel and then straighten out that right leg and look under your right armpit. So you're rolling the right hip on top of the left. Come back through bent knees and go to the other side. Spin knees left. Ground your left heel. Start to straighten that leg. Roll the left hip on top of the right. Bend your knees again to come back. And then find a comfortable downward facing dog. Stretch it out again. So spend some time here. Deepen your breath. Remember to wrap your upper arms. We've got 2 more breaths here. Settle down. So we're going to take the feet back and find ourselves in plank. So lift your heels, go high up on your tippy toes, really stretch the toes, tuck your tailbone in, roll forwards with your spine, then straighten up. Hold here, push the floor away from you, lift the space between the shoulder blades, pull the shoulders back towards your hips, lift your front ribs up to your back ribs, straighten your legs, and then bring your knees to the floor, bring your chest and chin to the floor, and lay all the way down. We're going to take Cobra. So your hands can come a little more forwards of your shoulders, just not in front of your crown of your head. Let's firm the legs first. So lift your knees up, but your feet are down. And anchor your pelvis, pubic bone down and a little forward. And then keep that as you bring yourself up. So some of you might be happy with a baby cobra. Some of you might want to feel out what will happen if you go a little bit further, straightening the arms. Just see how it feels in your body today. Keep firming your thighs to the floor. Keep the pubic bone pressing down and forward. And then let's lay down again. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. Tuck toes. Bring the hips up and find your inverted V shape. We're going to stay for 4 breaths. Hold it here. We're on 3 now. Last breath. Look back at your feet, bring them closer to each other, and float your right leg up, 3-legged dog. So keep your hips level. You can lift your left heel, and then just drop it down again, back to down dog. Do that with the other foot. Left leg goes up. Right heel comes up as well. You're just starting to warm up the legs as you scissor them. Then bring the foot to the floor again. Do the same with the right leg again, 3-legged dog. And then bring your knee to your nose, and you'll step into warrior 1. Ground your back heel. Make sure you're on separate tracks. Raise your arms up. So we're looking for refinements in warrior 1. Make sure that you're not in a back bend. So a back bend, I'll show you, will be the ribs flaring out and the booty going back. Watch when I pull my ribs in, how I get this neutral spine. So try and work on that. Knitting your front ribs closer together. And only deepen the bend in the front leg if it works for you. Rather have your spine, you're taking good care of your spine, than look for the deepest bend you've got. Those of you who want to bring your palms together, you can. You might look at your hands as well. Keep wrapping your left hip forward. Keep knitting those front ribs together. The more you go down, the more your spine grows. Press the whole of the left foot into the floor, whole of the outside of the left foot. Keep breathing. Work strong. A little deeper. Just check your front knee every now and then, just tracking over those smaller toes. Okay, release your hands out to the side. Bring your hands to the floor, downward facing dog, step back. Take a little recovery breath here. And then walk your feet back, and again lift the heels. Ripple the spine forward. Find your solid, firm, high plank. Push the floor away from you. Lift the space between the shoulder blades. Pull your armpits back towards your hips. Wrap your buttocks, and then bring your knees to the floor. So we're going to scoop forwards to an upward facing dog. So just let your chest kind of brush the floor. Straighten your arms. Lift your knees. We're going to stay here for 3 rounds of breath. So work the shoulder blades closer together. Feel the belly stretch. Keep the pubic bone coming forward. Maybe you lift your chin. Open your collarbone left to right. Let's come back. Find downward facing dog. One recovery breath here. While you're here, organize your feet closer together. It'll be the left leg that floats up, 3-legged dog. So each time you're feeling a little more of an opening, bring the foot down to the floor. Right leg, 3-legged dog. Just move. The more you move, the more your body will open up. Bring it down to the floor. Left leg, 3-legged dog. And then bring your knee to your nose, travel forwards, and land the foot forwards for warrior 1 on your left side. Take your feet, 2 separate parallel tracks. Raise your arms. Okay, so check if you're in that back bend. Now the back bend often comes the longer we're here. So this is why we're staying a little longer in postures today, to check our tendencies when we start to get tired. And give this some time. If you're feeling very tight in your groin, stay up. Keep breathing. You could have your palms together and you're looking up. Keep your tailbone moving down. Pull those front ribs in. So when we want to protect the back, it's a little easier to knit the front ribs in, maybe than pulling the belly back. You might feel you can't breathe. So it's a nice little cue. Keep your right hip coming forward. Whole of that right back foot is on the floor. Baby toes on the floor. Work strong. Okay, release your arms out to the side. Bring your hands down, downward facing dog. Recovery breath, big breath in. Full breath out. Full vinyasa of your choice. Moving now through chaturanga with the bent arms. The knees could be on the floor. Find your upward facing dog or your cobra. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Organizing the feet closer together, right leg up, 3-legged dog. Let the foot find the floor again by the left foot. Left leg, 3-legged dog, bring it up. Take it down. Again, right leg, 3-legged dog. Bring your knee forward. Land the foot between the hands. High crescent lunge. Back knees bent off the floor. Bring your body upright. Make sure your spine is straight. Raise your arms up. So you can stay here, or you can start to work that back leg straight. Now, if you run a lot, if you sit a lot, you might find it's hard to straighten that left leg. The hip flexor might be tight. Don't force it. Okay, luckily, we're not going to stay here. We're moving into warrior 3. So transfer your weight forward. Your arms are still in line with your ears. Float your back leg off the floor and stay here. Leg is up. Straighten your raised leg. I like my standing leg bend. Keep your arms long. Energy into the fingertips. Keep your belly lifted. Straighten your raised leg. Maybe get it higher. A little higher. Keep your arms long. Stay a little longer. Keep the shoulders in line with the hips. Firm your left leg. Okay, hands to the floor. So if you need blocks at this point, you're welcome to take your blocks under your hands. We're going to keep that leg up and take standing split. Drop your head with or without your blocks. Bring your head close to your right leg and look underneath you at your left foot. Now make sure that left hip's not turning out. Keep the hips squared off and get your left leg higher and your body closer to your right leg. Okay, step back, down dog. Full breath in. Complete breath out. Organize your feet together at the back of the mat. Left leg, three-legged dog. Each time you're getting a little higher with that leg, bring it down. Right leg, three-legged dog. Bring it down. Left leg, three-legged dog. Bring the knee to the nose, high crescent lunge. Your back knee hovers off the floor. Check your booty's not sticking out. Tuck the tailbone under. By bending your back knee, raise your arms up. And then if you want to move your back heel a little closer to the floor, you can feel for that stretch in the front body. All right, let's find warrior three. Transfer the weight forward. Pop that back leg off the floor. It's up as high as you can get it. Your hips are squared off. Turn on that raised leg. Make sure it's straight. Turn on the arms. Energy into the fingers. So I know we're not all together in class now, but I'm going to be with you in spirit when you're practicing on your own. You're going to hold this with me. When we're only doing it once, I like to remind you, keep putting the effort in. So my teacher says, if you do the work in your body, transformation will happen. Bring your hands to the floor or to your blocks. Prepare for your standing split. Let's bring the chest closer to the leg. Look underneath you. Look at your right foot and lift it higher. Keep the leg turned on. A little higher. Okay, take it back again. Downward facing dog. Nice work, everybody. Really nice. If you'd like to break here in child's pose, go for it. If you're going to take a vinyasa, let's go. High plank, chaturanga, upward dog. Work your back body. Downward dog. Stretch it out. Okay, right foot forward, warrior two. Take your feet off in alignment. Open out your arms. So I've got my back to you. It's okay, I'm still with you. Check your left arm. So take your gaze over your left arm and see if you can gauge, is it as high as your shoulder? Is it behind the shoulder or in front? Can you work it right in the center? Stretch your fingers and watch your tricep lift. Now look over your right arm. Same thing. Center yourself. So I've got these bendy arms, so it looks like my one hand is lower, but I'm trying my hardest. And I know you guys are too. Now you're looking over your middle right finger, and as you bend your knee deeper, you're still growing your spine long. So like you did when we started seated, keep the body upright. Keep the work, keep doing the work. Shoulder blades move together. Wrap that left buttock, wrap the right buttock. Make sure your knee is not caving in. Go with the shakes are okay. Good. 5-pointed start to the left side of your mat. Straighten out your legs, feet parallel. Raise your arms up, stretch everything. Forward fold. Take your hands behind your legs. Run them down your hamstrings. Run them down the backs of the knees, the calves. Maybe they stay there or they find the ankles and then hang out here in perfect balance. Keep lifting the shoulders. Now you really want to firm your legs. Work on firming them up here. Not challenging because you've got the upper body completely relaxed, but I'm asking you to keep your legs super active. The kneecaps will lift. And what you can practice here is a little micro bend in the knees when the kneecaps are up. This is advanced work, but it's really important to know about a little bend in that bend knee, in those knees, without the legs flopping, without the muscles softening. Okay, you're going to come up halfway and walk your hands to your right ankle and beyond the right foot for some of you. So let your left hip stay where it is, but arc your whole left side of your body. So I like to rest my head in my left arm, so I know I'm not doing anything funny with my neck. So this is about getting into the left side of the body, but at the same time, strong in the hamstrings. Check that you balance the middle of your feet, not the back. Not too much in the heels. Keep reaching to your right ankle or beyond. Keep the left hip coming up. Okay, kind of soften half out of that, but we're going to keep turning to that same side, to the front of your mat. Lunge. Low lunge, fingers on the floor, look forward. Wrap the right buttock, have a good stretch here. And then take it back to downward facing dog. Take a vinyasa. Let's take it. High plank, halakasana. Chaturanga dandasana. Urdhva mukha svanasana. Work strong. Back to down dog. Warrior two, left leg steps forward. Take your feet, stick you in the middle of your mat. Okay, so just watch for this little angling of the hip. I know I did on one side a lot more than the other. So keep pushing your left hip forward in the direction of the knee rather than pulling it back. And then check your back arm again. Be pedantic about where it's placed. Keep lifting that tricep. Check your front arm. Strong, active arms. A little curve. Check out of the corner of your eye at your left knee. You should be able to see it and not see your toes. And then drive the shoulder blades down your back. And keep the back long as you deepen your posture. So really work hard here. All of these postures today, we're just doing once. Wrap your buttocks, work your legs hard. Watch now when you get tired, what are you most inclined to do? For me, I shift my hips out. Maybe my upper back is lazy. Keep your spine long. The good news is that as you get older, you don't have to shrink. Did you know that? We shrink when we get older. Yoga is going to keep you tall. Okay, 5-pointed start to your right side of your mat. Parallel feet, stretch everything out. Forward fold. Run your hands down the backs of your legs. Feel that you're firming your legs all the way. Drop your head. So those of you who want to do a little tripod headstand here, you could. Otherwise, just stay. Stay in your fold. Stay committed to building strength. In your tripod headstand, you might first go into a straddle and then maybe bring the legs up. We'll all meet back out of the headstand if you were there, back in a forward fold. And then we're going to come up halfway to bring the heels to turn in. And find a horse stance, and then stand up until you can place your hands on your thighs, inner knees, inner knees. My most favorite posture, probably one of my best. Okay, so you should be leaning a little forward. Bring your right shoulder forward. Keep your right arm straight. Now, you can be quite upright here as you twist and look over your back to the back, or you could lean forward and see what you get out of that. Just move slowly. And then let's come back to center and do that to the other side. Perhaps you start off nice and easy, keep your body upright. But maybe you bend your right arm and you deepen your stretches, your left arm straight, and it pushes the knee away with that inner palm. Come back to center, and then do it once more to each side. Use your breath, breathe out on your twist. Come back to center, breathe out again. Oh, it feels so good. And then come back to center. Refine your sitting on the horse again. Bring your hands into your heart space. So we're going to go into our moving arm meditation. We're going to keep firming the legs. Remember, when you go down into your posture, not to stick the booty out. So you want to keep it down. First round, arms go forward, open out. So you could stay here or add a little, what is this, cow, cat-cow, cow. It challenges your balance, sticking your booty out. Then come back to neutral, take cat, round everything. Reach your hands forward. Come back to neutral as you bring your hands in. And then the down is kind of just feeling our way through our legs. So not too far down with the bottom. And now you want to wrap your buttocks to stand up, straighten everything, raise arms, and come back into horse stance. Here, let's go again. Inhale, open. Exhale, round and close. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, drop your body between your thighs. Your fingers may touch the floor or not. Wrap your buttocks, stand up, straighten everything up. Hands in the heart space, bend your knees. Another round, inhale. Exhale. Challenge your balance. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, hands down. Tuck your bums underneath you, stand up. Hands in the heart. Last round. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, to round. Neutral spine. Bring your hands down, stay down. You can walk your hands forward. You can walk your feet back, down dog. Downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Look back at your feet. Close them, or close the gap between them. Bring your left foot between your hands. Spin around to a wide-legged forward bend. Come to a halfway lift, so you're facing the right side of your mat now. Place your left hand flat on the floor under your heart and raise your right arm up. So we're looking for this deep thoracic twist. If your left hip drops, it's okay. Find the twist first. Straighten both your arms. And then if you want to explore, you can maybe move that left hip up. Keep breathing. Come back down. Change sides. Square off your hips. Left arm goes up. Let your hips go. Twist it out, twist it out. But maybe you drive that left hip to the left side. No, sorry, right hip to the right side. You want to square off your hips. Okay, come down. We're taking our hands to our left ankle. Now we want to keep the hips squared. Or you might walk your fingers beyond your left foot. Maybe you just drop your head and your arm. Keep the weight forwards on the balls of the feet, more than on the heels. Keep your legs strong. Keep stretching the right side of the body. Right shoulder, right ribs. Stretch it out. Okay, just back off a little bit. Then turn to the front of your mat. Find a low lunge on your fingertips. Stretch this out. And then step back to down dog. Stay for 2 more breaths. And at the end of your second breath, take child's pose. Here you can go nice and wide with your knees as you drop down. Let everything drop. Elbows, head, melt between the inner thighs. Drop down. Keep breathing through your nose. Last breath. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, right leg goes up. Bend your knee. We're going to open the knee to the ceiling. Open up. Try and get your left heel down. Look under your right armpit. Get your knee higher. Keep tucking your tailbone in though. So it scoots forwards and up. And then square your hips. Bring your foot down. Set the same foot, right foot between your hands. And drop your back knee to the floor. Interlace your fingers behind your head now. Keep your back toes tucked under. So you can let your hips come forwards, come into your full flexibility, but make sure you're stamping your front foot really firmly into the ground. And then start to use this, the hands again to aid your back bend. So feel like your hands pull your head up as you go back. So you go longer as you go up and back. Up and back. Keep checking, you can see your elbows in your vision. Keep the front foot pushing down and forward. Keep the tailbone moving down and forward. Open up into your back foot. Come back. Bring your hands to the floor for Parsvottanasana. So if you want your blocks really nice, to have blocks under your hands. So bring your back foot in a little closer. Make sure you can get weight in your back heel. And make sure your feet are not one in front of the other. We're going to go folding down. Get long in your body. Make sure your legs are strong so you can keep your blocks or not. Your hands could be under your shoulders. You could have your hands way forward. I like that variation. I get more length. And then keep spinning your right hip back and your left hip forward. And it's okay if your back foot is turned out. And then you're folding down, but long and down. Keep breathing. Keep firming your legs. One more breath. Okay. Come up out of that just a little bit. And we're going to take a rotated triangle. So you want about 1 meter between your feet. And definitely 2 separate tracks. You're using a block. It'll be your left hand on the block. If not, you'll have the floor. But we're going to work together. So everybody place your left hand down. You know where you like your hand. Some of you advanced, your left hand will be on side your right foot. Once you're there, keep looking forward to the top of your mat. So place your right hand on your right hip. Anyhow, look forward and keep your head positioned between the 2 front corners as you now start to twist to the right. In other words, try not to take your head to the right side of the mat. So twist it out. Keep the head, crown of the head going forward. In other words, the whole body. And then look. You can change your gaze to look to the side. And then release your hand up. So keep pulling the right hip back. Keep pushing the hand down in the floor to deepen the twist. Left ribs move down, right ribs move up. Legs are working super strong. Make sure you breathe. Keep pulling that right hip back. Good. Take your gaze down. We're releasing, downward facing dog. Take your recovery breath. Big inhale. And exhale. It's going to be 3-legged dog. Left leg goes up. To bend the knee, to stack the left hip, lift the knee up to the ceiling, stay. Keep moving your shoulders back. Maybe you look under your left armpit. Keep wrapping your left upper arm. Keep the shoulders going back. Squeeze behind your left buttock. Okay. Square off your hips. Bring your foot to the floor. 2 feet together at the back. And then the left foot steps forwards. Ground your back knee with control. Interlace your fingers the non-habitual way. Take your hands behind the head. Okay, let's find our full flexibility here, but with strength in the front leg. And then start to go up and back into your back bend. Keep those back toes curled under. Go in small amounts. When you get to like a slightly intense place, just stay there. So what do we know so far about being in intense places? We've all been doing this for a few months now. It's the same on the mat as it is off the mat. You stay with the challenge. You know that this is where you're at. And it's good for you to not react. And it's good for you to work your body. Okay, come back. Bring your hands down. Prepare for Parsvottanasana. So I like to bring my foot a little closer in so that I can get my back heel down. It's quite important to get the back heel down, so you might even turn the back foot out, because you need your weight in your back foot when you do your rotated triangle. So this is the preparation. All right, let's fold over this front leg. Keep moving your left hip back. So you want space between your left hip and your left rib. Firm your legs. It doesn't matter how far down you go, but work with strong legs. Keep breathing through this. Okay, good. We'll come up enough to change our feet as much as you need for rotated triangle. Okay, so now you really want your back heel firm in the floor. Right hand finds the floor or the block. You decide where you're going to go. Okay, remember you want the gaze at the head in line with your middle front corners. So as you twist it out, keep your head and your upper body going forward, not as much as you can. Then release your left hand up. So just keep checking that you're not shortening your left waist. That's what we're looking to avoid. Keep pulling your left hip back. Keep your arms straight out. Twist your left ribs up, right ribs down. Use the floor to keep the right shoulder coming underneath you. Left shoulder going up. Strong legs. Keep leaning forward. Okay, we're coming out of this. Downward facing dog. And take a vinyasa. You can take an easy vinyasa with your knees on the floor if you want. We're trying to get breath back. We're going to come onto the knees. And we're going to come into dolphin. So let's bring the forearms down. I'm going to just advise you to not have any sleeves on your forearms, so just move them up. Check that your elbows are in line with your shoulders. Interlace your fingers. Tuck your baby finger underneath you. Let's lift the knees and the hips. Look back at your feet. Walk the feet in a little closer. A little closer. Keep your head off the floor, off your arms, and stay. Keep breathing. We're holding for 5 more counts. When you're done, bring your knees to the floor. Take child's pose. Completely relaxed. Okay, bring yourselves up. We're going to come to lying on our backs. We're going to go into bridge posture. So make your way down. So once you're down, make sure your feet are nice and close to the buttocks and the toes point straight ahead. Keep your arms at your sides here on the mat to begin with. Let's go, hips up. Okay, lift your right shoulder right off the floor. Roll the blade underneath and place it down. Do the same on the left side. And then lift your hips a little higher, and lift all 10 toes. So everybody lift all your toes off the floor. And now use your inner thighs to bring your knees to point straight ahead. Not to touch, but definitely activate the inner thighs. And then put your toes down on the floor. And then come back all the way down. So the second round will be hands fingers interlaced under the floor, underneath you on the floor, or take your hands over the shoulders for a full wheel. Okay, those of you who are going to go into a full wheel, once you're up, you're going to take one leg up to the ceiling, bring it down, other leg up, bring it down. Those of you who are in your bridge will do the same thing, one leg up and down. Okay, and change legs. So I'll try to talk you through it, but if you're ahead of me, that's fine, it's okay. So we'll all go in this together. Let's prepare. Lift your hips up. So those of you who want to tuck your shoulders and interlace your fingers, take that version. And then those of you who are full wheel, bring your hands over your shoulders and you're up. So if you're on your hands and your feet, let your left foot come a little more center. Bring your right knee up and the right foot up. Bring it down and change. Left knee, left foot, bring it down. So if you've all done your one leg up and changed, and all come down. And just pause here with the feet the full width of the mat. The knees can drop in towards each other and your hands on your belly. Take a deeper breath. Give your spine a moment to neutralize. One more breath here. Okay. Let's draw the knees into the chest. Take happy baby. Hold the feet from the inside. And then start to move the feet away from each other for full straddle. Looking to straighten out the legs more. See if you can still keep your sacrum down on the floor. Stretch the backs of the legs. Don't force it with your hands. Okay. Bring your knees back in. Cross your ankles, roll up. And we're going to come to Dandasana. So straighten out your legs. Place your hands next to you on the floor. Get really active with your legs. You might even want to move some flesh out the way. I think you have the longest spine you've got. Spine of the head goes straight up to the ceiling. Work really hard. And keep these same strong legs, but raise your arms up. And then take Paschimottanasana, forward fold. So if you want to reach for your strap rather, please feel free to do that. Remember, if you've got a back issue, separate your feet. Keep looking at your toes. Keep the back long. So it's the same here. It's a forward fold, and we don't want to round the back and crunch the front of the body, but you want to keep lengthening. And really, again, work your legs. So if you have strong legs, it's going to support your whole body. It's really important. Standing postures a couple of times a week. And then if you feel like you want to drop your chest and your head, just explore that. Okay, come up, find your length again, and release. I'll turn to face you. Jana Shasana, bend your right leg. I'll mirror you. And take a knee out to the side. Make sure it's comfortable, not too close to your groin. So raise your arms up, and you're going to twist to your left. Let your right hand settle outside your knee. And just gaze over to the back of the room here. It's a little preparation. Now bring your gaze forward. So what you've done is you've taken your belly from there to there. So we're going to keep the belly there, but just square off your shoulders. Okay, and then we're coming forward to fold. Again, use your strap if you need to. So the difference would be if you were pregnant or if you have a really big belly, it would hang straight down, but we want to add a little twist. And then go breath by breath. Should feel really good. Keep the gaze on the toes here. Keep the focus on the foot. Really pay attention to your body here. That left leg is still firm, active. Again, if you want to take the gaze down and drop your head, you can explore that. One more breath. Start to come up. Okay, so you're going to take your left leg out a little wider. Now you can decide how far you want to go. If you're tighter in the back of the legs, maybe not so wide, and you might even support your leg here with a block or a cushion or a rolled up towel. I know some of you like to have more of a split. You can choose that. Make sure you're growing tall. So we're just going to take a side bend now to the left. Start to let your left arm or hand come to the inside of your leg and lean, lean, lean. So I find sometimes this to leave the top hand up as I just kind of get a little more into the posture is like enough because I'm just focusing on a different part of my body. And then I think, okay, I'm going to explore now my shoulder and much deeper side bend, much more opening in the ribs. And some of you might even hold your foot. Maybe it's not a goal. You just want to see how your body is. And watch your hamstrings. You don't want to pull here from the insertion point at the buttock. So if you've been sitting a lot, if you've been doing a lot of series or a lot of work, these wintry days, this posture might feel quite intense for you. See if you can soften the body. We're going to come out. Let your hand find the ceiling and slowly come up. Your head is the last. Get your neck longer as you bring your head up. Okay, back to two straight legs. Left leg, Jana Shasana. Okay, so start to come forward. Keep your gaze at the toes. Keep your awareness in your body. That's why we have the gaze at the toes. Feel what's going on in the knee, the back body. Keep the breath. We forgot that little twist, but you can just do it here. Just see if you can aim the belly button towards the knee. So it's just a little preparation. We've twisted quite a lot. We don't need any more twists. Keep breathing deeply. And if you want to drop your head, go for it. start to come up. We take the leg wider, find your seat, and then take yourself to a side bend and ease your way into it. No rush. Working with gravity. Keep breathing. And then release your arm up. Come back up nice and slow. And bring your legs together. Okay, lovelies. We're going to go into Shavasana from here. So put your warm things on, maybe some socks. Find yourself on your back. Take one little hug of the knees and the chest. And just roll out from left to right. Check in with your back. Move really slowly. And then find center. And take your legs straight on the mat. The backs of the hands find the mat. And settle down in your corpse pose. Now let go of any deeper breathing. Encourage the body to be heavy. Heavy legs. Heavy muscles. The bones of the whole skeleton being allowed to just drop down to the floor. Take the muscles in the face, the muscles in the neck and the throat, the chest and the arms and the stomach, the back, the buttock muscles, the inner thighs, the calves, right down to all the little muscles in the feet and the toes. And then bring your awareness to your breathing, allowing yourself to follow the breath in and out, and staying with the rising of the belly and the falling. Rising and falling. Starting to think now about moving. Taking your time to breathe a little deeper and to find yourself moving and ending in a seat. Finding any comfortable seat where you can feel yourself grounded again, where you can feel your sit bones heavy. We'll bring our palms together in front of the heart and bow the head forward as we bow in gratitude for this practice of yoga. Thank you all for joining, and I wish you a pleasant rest of your evening or day tomorrow. Namaste.